Hey guys, Rexlent here. Welcome to another crash course guide, this time for Shorekeeper. So I'll just head straight into what you should do for her rotation and how she functions. So first things first, you start with her ultimate and then you simply intro the next character in and then you intro your third character in and then you finish off with another intro back to Shorekeeper to finish the whole cycle and then you rinse repeat. So let me show you what I mean. I'm just gonna engage these wolves. I have all of their concerto ready. Now I'll press ultimate. So notice how it's white or blue. I'll intro Verena in. And now it's purple. And then I'll intro Yinlin in. And now it's gold. So this is the final version. And then I'll intro Shorekeeper in while it's active. And this happens. And that's it. That's basically what you should be doing for her. So for her Forte, it's really similar to Baizi, where you get gauge simply by attacking like this. And then when it's full, you either do jump attack or heavy attack to spend it. And it'll turn into a vacuum. She'll pull the enemies. And that's pretty much it. So you can do like this. Full combo, 5, and then you jump and attack to spend it. You can also get your gauge simply by doing an air combo opener like this. And then you heavy attack or jump attack to spend all 5 gauges, pull them, like that. And another thing to note is that if you do the air version, she can skip straight to combo 2, like this. Like that. So that's pretty much it for her Forte, it's really simple. The other thing to note is that if you've seen the trailer, she can turn into a butterfly, so simply press and hold basic attack. And she will get gauge over time like this. You see the bottom here? Those blue gauge will translate to her main yellow gauge once I exit from here like this. See, full gauge. However, the butterfly skill, you mostly only use it during PvE, during exploration. You don't really need to use it during attack. During combat, I mean. And then that's it for her Forte. Now, let's talk about her ultimate. If you look over here, Resonance Liberation, the white ring that you saw earlier, that's called Outer Stellar Realm. And then when you do one intro with a character, it turns into Inner Stellar Realm. And then when you do one more intro, the one I did with Yinlin, and then it became gold, that's called Supernal Stellar Realm. So I'll just gonna short it into Outer, Inner, and Super Stellar Realm so that it's easier for you to understand. So what happens here is that when she casts the first ultimate, everybody gets a regen every 3 seconds. That's it. And then when you use the next character to intro and turn it into an Inner Stellar Realm, that character will gain a crit rate up to 12.5% based on her energy regen. So if you see the math over here, TLDR, you need 250% energy regen to get 12.5%. And then for the next character intro, you'll get Super Stellar Realm. So on top of crit rate, you'll also get crit damage up to 25%. So Shorekeeper is basically a crit support. As for her outro, she also gives 15% damage M, similar to Verena. So Shorekeeper gives damage M and crit support. I'll demonstrate her ultimate and intro and show you the differences. Starting with Shorekeeper again. Ultimate. And this ultimate is only gonna give regen every 3 seconds. It's just healing. So white ultimate is just healing. And then intro the next character. Now it's purple. So look, purple is crit rate. So Verena now has 48% crit rate. Yinlin has 79% crit rate. It was 69 before. Nice. And now I'll intro Yinlin in. The ring is gonna turn gold. That's the Super Stellar Realm. And then it's gonna give her crit rate and crit damage. So 79,224. Let me intro Yinlin in. Now it's gold. See, 79,245. So now that it's gold, logically, always put your DPS on the third slot so they benefit from both crit rate and crit damage. And then once you've done all your damage, you can finish it off with another Shorekeeper intro while the ultimate is still active. And that will finish the loop. So I'm just gonna pretend that I've done all my DPS and then I'll intro Shorekeeper like this. That's the special intro. For the skills, we'll skip normal Resonance, Forte, and Resonance Liberation because I've already talked about that. The one we want to look at is intro skill. And over here, Enlightenment is her normal intro. The one you want to look at is Discernment. Discernment is that big intro that you saw earlier. When Supernal Stellar Realm is generated, Shorekeeper's first intro skill triggered in its duration will be replaced with Discernment. And Discernment will restore HP to all members and deal damage. And this damage is guaranteed crit. Guaranteed crit, and is scaled from Resonance Liberation damage. So this Discernment can only be triggered once every ultimate. And look at her scaling. Discernment is scaled from HP. However, the first 4 tabs here, they're all scaled from attack for her attack-based moves. Like normal attack is scaled from attack. Resonance skill also scaled from attack. Forte circuit also scaled from attack. This is basically a trap. No need to pump attack stats for her. Just go all into HP. So for Shorekeeper, just go all in HP so that her special intro damage increases since it's guaranteed crit. This will be your main source of damage from Shorekeeper. And then we look at inherent skill number 1. This is insurance. Basically, if someone's gonna die, she'll save them. And inherent number 2, when Resonator on the field is within the range of her ultimate, her energy regen is increased by 10%. And Rover's energy regen is also increased by 10% if Rover is on the team. So you want to level this one so that she gets more energy regen, especially when you're not close to 250%. This one will push you closer to 250%. So TLDR, if you want to level Shorekeeper skills, I highly recommend leaving normal, resonance skill, forte, and liberation at 4 to 6, since those are cheap. You don't really need levels on them. More level would just mean more healing and slight increase in like a negligible damage. So either you leave it at level 1 if you're broke, or level 4 or level 6, and all in into intro. You can put 10 into intro. The rest, just leave it. And as for the top inherent skills, just go for the first 2 inherent skills here, and HP increase on the sides. More HP, more damage. Healing percent is subjective. If you've got the meds to spare, then yeah, why not? Just level healing. However, you can leave these last. So for her Echo, I would highly recommend Fallacy of No Return. That is the new Echo of this patch. Because when you tap this Echo's effect, Shorekeeper will get 10% energy regen, and then the following all team members will get 10% attack for 20 seconds. And you can also hold the Echo skills to do her JoJo punch, like this. So this could be potentially helpful to build ultimate for you if you have trouble building Resonance Liberation. So simply just hold and release. It consumes stamina, like that. So that will be for the 4 cost, Fallacy of No Return. And then for 3 costs, highly recommend energy. And for the 1 cost, go for HP. And obviously, it's gonna be the healing set. Now, for her 4 costs, I personally use crit damage since her discernment skill is guaranteed crit anyway. I'm just gonna pump all in into crit damage. And for 3 costs, I highly recommend just leaving it at energy regen because she's gonna need all that energy regen to push her closer to 250% energy regen. 230 is also good enough. 230 with the effect of her Echo and also her inherent skill, 10% from each. And for the substats, energy regen, obviously. And then you can also go for crit damage and resonance liberation if you want more damage on her discernment. And also HP. Both percentage and flat HP are also good. She doesn't really need crit rate since it's guaranteed crit anyway. Now let's talk about her weapon. So I have her weapon here at rank 5. So if you want to see rank 1, it's basically half of all the values here. So 77% energy regen. This really helps for pushing her to 250% energy regen. HP increase from 12 to 24%. And then 8 to 16 concerto energy whenever she casts ultimate. Every 20 seconds cooldown. And also casting a resonance skill that heals. Increases attack by 14 to 20% for the whole party. So this will not be usable for Verena because Verena's E skill is pure damage. The healing only comes from using her gauge. But this will work on Baizi in the event that you want to use this on Baizi. However, we'll compare this to the other alternative, which is Variation. So if you're F2P or low spender and you have Variation, Variation is a really good candidate. Instead of rolling for her signature weapon, you can just opt to use Variation. Variation also gives energy regen up to 52% at level 90. And rank 1 to 5 also gives 8 to 16 concerto energy. This is the same scaling, it's also 8 to 16. Except Variation is 4-star, so it's potentially easier to get it to rank 5 in the long run. And the other big difference is that Variation is triggered from resonance skill. So it's a lot easier to build her concerto since you only need to press E skill. Meanwhile, her signature only gets concerto on resonance liberation. So if you have no ultimate ready, it's really hard to benefit from this. So yeah, you can see that Variation is a really good alternative. However, if you don't have Variation, you can opt to use the crafted 4-star over here, Rectifier 25, solely for the energy regen main stat, and it's free to craft. All you need is materials. Or you can also use Comet Flare from the gacha, which boosts HP as the main stat. So Comet Flare or the crafted 4-star, followed by Variation, followed by signature weapon. So if you already have a really good variation, you can consider skipping her signature for cost reasons. And now let's talk about her resonance chain, the sequences. So for Shorekeeper, I recommend the stopping point to be either S0 or S2 or S3 or S6. Skip 4 and 5. If you're gonna go past 3, straight away just go for 6 because there's no point stopping at 4 and 5. So we'll just go through each of them one by one. So at S1, Stellar Realm, her ultimate, the range of the healing and buff is increased by 150% and the duration is extended, so that goes from 30 to 40 seconds. And casting intro skill Discernment no longer ends the Stellar Realm. That means that when it's gold and you use a Shorekeeper's special intro, the gold aura still stays, so she still benefits from the crit and crit damage buff. So this is S1. The reason why S2 is so good is really simple. Outer Sterile Realm now increases the attack of all party members by 40%. So Outer is the first level of ultimate, and this will carry over to all Stellar Realm. Basically, just press ultimate, everybody gets 40% for 40 seconds. This is insane for S2. And for S3, casting Liberation gives her 20 Concerto energy. And this is really, really good, especially when you're in a time attack based content like Tower, where you need her to outro ASAP. So this one will facilitate the whole switch rotation. If you just want pure output results, just stop at S2. If you want to streamline your whole switching rotation, then stop at S3. Now we'll look at S4. S4 is just 70% additional healing from Resonance skill. Not very good. S5 is the range of basic attack 3 and Annihilation is increased by 50% and 30% respectively. So this is just her pull, her pulling AoE at S5. That's why it's not very good. At S6, increase the damage multiplier of Discernment by 42%, and then casting Discernment increases her crit damage by 500%. So this makes her intro into a nuke. So like she's gonna be doing like over 100k damage with no buffs. Now you can see for Shorekeeper, either stop at 2 or 3 or 6 or 0 if you prefer. As for team composition, Shorekeeper is similar to Verena, Healer. So Healer always goes first in the team rotation, and then followed by the second sub DPS, and then followed by the third DPS. So this is just an example. While I'm on the topic of Shorekeeper and Verena, Verena is still not going away anytime soon. So Verena has smaller overall buffs compared to Shorekeeper. However, Verena has really, really fast outro speed, like her Concerto gauge. Even more so if she's S2 and has variation. They both have their own strengths and weaknesses. But yeah, that's about it for Shorekeeper Crash Course Guide. I hope this video has been helpful to you in understanding Shorekeeper and how she works. Consider leaving a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.